All right, everyone, so we're into a new unit here. We're doing linear relations now. We're starting with lesson 1, just a review of plotting points and calculating slope. This is just material from Math 20. So if you recall, when we plot points on a graph, we plot their x-coordinate first, then their y-coordinate second. Easy way to remember that is that x comes before y in the alphabet. So the x-coordinate tells you the distance from 0, 0, the origin, to the point, the horizontal distance. The y-coordinate tells you the vertical distance. So we can see here that this point right here is 2 horizontally from 0, 0 and 4 vertically from 0, 0. So we're doing it like this. It'd be 2 horizontally and 4 vertically. All right. The other thing you may remember is how to calculate slope. There's two formulas that we can use, either rise over run or y2 minus y1 over x2 over x1. So in the second formula, we use the coordinates of the 2 points in order to do it. I find the easiest way to see how this works is with examples, so let's dive right in. So we're just going to calculate the slope for each line segment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label my points. I'm going to call this x1 and this one x2. It doesn't matter which one is x1 and which one is x2. It just matters that we're consistent. So if I pick one of the points to be the ones, so this one I'm going to call y1, this one I'm going to call y2, I can't have x1 and y2 in the same point, right? It has to be x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. The 2's together, the 1's together. That's what matters. But if you're worried about mixing it up, the easiest way to do it is just make the first point x1 and y1 and the second point x2 and y2. So to calculate the slope of AB, we are just going to take y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Common mistake is to put x on top, to do x2 minus x1 on top. Don't do it on top. So y2 we have labeled as 6, y1 is 2, x2 is 8, and x1 is 5. So the answer is 6 minus 2 is 4, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So the answer is 4 over 3. I'm perfectly happy leaving this as a fraction. It's in lowest term, so I'm happy with it. If you really want to, you can put it as a decimal. So this would be 1.3 repeated. All right? CD. So slope of CD, that's going to be, again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, x in the denominator, that's a 2. So again, I'm going to label things appropriately. My x1 and my x2, my y1 and my y2, just so I don't mix it up. So y2 is 2. I know it's really tempting to start with the 1 because it's in the same kind of position. It's not, though. y2 is 2. We got to start there. Minus y1, which is 9, all over x2 of 3, and minus x1 of 1. 2 minus 9 is negative 7, right? So if you have $2 and you use your credit card to spend 9, then you owe $7. So negative 7. 3 minus 1 is 2. And again, I am perfectly happy leaving this as negative 7 over 2. In fact, I prefer it. But if you really want to, you can also rewrite this as negative 3.5. All right, last one. So we have slope of DE. So again, I do my labels. We have x1 and x2. We have y1 and y2. So what we're left with then is that we got to find slope of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is going to be negative 4 minus a y1 of negative 3. x2 is 1 minus x1 of negative 1. Now be careful here. Negative 4 minus negative 3, that's the same thing as negative 4 plus 3. Minus negative is plus. 1 minus negative 1 is 1 plus 1. Be careful, or just make sure you know how to put it in your calculator. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is negative 1/2, or if you prefer, negative 0.5. So these are my answers. And that's it. That's all for this lesson. So just make sure you know how to plot points and you know how to calculate slope, just a review of previous year. Then all that's left for you to do is to do the practice. That's it. 2 questions. All right. Peace.